Hi everybody, Jared and Rose here. I had to come up with a homemade project for Christmas that wasn't cards, and I thought, I've never done tags before. Firstly, to clarify, this was for the Scrap and Stamp Handmade for the Holidays Instagram hop. And secondly, I've made 2 tags for the Tags and Technique Instagram hops. Don't actually remember making tags ever for cards or tags for presents. Not that I can remember anyway. I thought it would be a good thing to experiment with because it's something fresh and I like things that are new to me. I grabbed out my paper rose stitch tags. I've run them through again with some craft cardstock. That's the Desert Storm. Because I thought, oh, well, it's Christmas. You're supposed to start out with the tags with something that's like crafty and brown, right? And then I used some of the residual plaid paper that I had from the first project, which was place cards. I'm lining it on a diagonal using my T-ruler to make certain the other one on the bottom is along that same diagonal as the first. And then I got out my old Fisker scissors. I have so many of these and I hadn't used them for so long. And I thought, oh, those will make nice pretty edges on the paper. So that was some red cardstock. And you can see I was testing that one to make certain that it still was meeting properly because they've got such intricate designs on them that sometimes that first tooth catches. And then you have to move them down the paper as you're cutting and realign them each time that you do that. So we've got our paper cut out. I did end up flipping them around the other way. I like them better with the scalloping hanging off the bottom. This is how I deal with getting ribbon through the little holes and using my reverse tweezers for the win. I've got some baker's twine out as well. When we go out walking in the neighborhood below us and we see the Christmas lights, I love the guys that have got the candy cane effect, which is the red and white, which is part of the theme that I was going for with this. And the plaid is because I have plaid crockery for our Christmas settings. So I've run some red and white ribbon through the top, and then I've got out the baker's twine, and I've tied a little bow, and of course I'm fussing with it here because I think my nails are just too short now, and I can't deal with it. Anyway, I'm going to run through the ornaments, and because I'm putting them on a red foil background, the part that goes over top, that white has actually got some reverse adhesive paper on it so that you can see I'm just peeling it off here so that it will just stick to the foil. I didn't want to run the chance that I was going to get little extra oozing out of the glue dots over the foil because it's really hard to rub that off. I'm just lining it there. I did end up having to trim just a wee bit around the edges to make certain that the red wasn't showing from behind. I will grab out my bone folder and we'll burnish that down to make certain everything's stuck really well. And then we're going to put the little silver caps on for which the ornaments need to hang from. Although I actually didn't end up putting string on these ones, come to think of it now. They're just kind of thrown in there with the mix that these tags end up being. We are going to bring in some glossy accents. And we are going to get out the rock candy glitter and we are going to throw that down over top of the middle part because I remember the ornaments from my grandma and they had glitter stuck around the edges, kind of like that cameo part that was in the middle. A lot of those are smashed now, and the ones that are left I just save so that they don't get ruined. On the ends to seal the ribbon, I used some stickles. Same thing with the ends of the baker's twine. And then I got out my gesso and I'm just swiping across. And gesso is really nice because it will put texture on whatever panel that you're putting it on, or in this instance, a tag. You can see the big glop there, right? And I wanted cross hatching, which is why I'm going in the 2 directions. Because once this dries, I know it will take other medias really well. So while that's drying, I am going to get the little tags for the back of the tag. So these are the smallest one out of that set. I'm just putting these ones on some white cardstock. I'm cutting 4 of them out for the 4 tags. just moved my die down to get the next one. And this is my factory production. Okay, so I got the stamps in place. They were the Catherine Pooler. That was no shaking for the to and the from. Same lumberjack red ink that I'm using. I'm just flipping them, stamping, flipping them, stamping, flipping them, stamping. And I did the same with the Pink and Main Love You So Much for just bringing in some of the accent light gray. It was lost shadow snowflakes around it. Jennifer McGuire showed this technique, that this is one of the ways that you can mass produce cards, tags, little elements very quickly. Okay, gesso's dry. Let's get out a distress crayon. I think that was candy apple. I'd have to check, but it's one of the reds, right? And then I have one of the pinks. You could have left it just like that because, when the crayon goes down, it's all scribbly, but then you can't smudge parts of it out with your finger, which is what I did. Now, I also know that they will react with wetness. So I got out the distress ink again in that lumberjack plaid, and I smushed it down, and I'm daubing those tags in just to get effects, and I'm letting those dry to the side. And you can see up at the top, I've got the corresponding ink stain to that. I ended up not going with that ink stain. I opted on the next step to actually go with the distress oxide in the lumberjack plaid. I think I did try spritzing some water down on it too, but it didn't really take it. So you can see I'm just tapping on the lumberjack plaid oxide just in the spots that I know are going to show a little bit more from underneath when we put that ornament down. So I was deepening up the red in the corners basically. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. And, okay, we need some foliage to go around these. So I have out two of the Sizzix Tim Holtz ones, the Vault Festive Wreath and the Holiday Brushstroke number 3. And I'm cutting those in an assortment of the reds and the greens, whites. There's a little bit of shimmer vellum in there. I arranged the first one and I'm just duplicating it on the other tags going through. It's got sprays coming out the bottom, either corner there and towards the top. And then one little sprig of holly, just accenting it to the side of where the silver ornament topper is. All right, now we're going to glue down those white name tags on the back. Of course, acrylic blocks over the top for the win. Just squish them down. And it's time for splatter. So the Kuretake Gold Mica ink, I think I'm going to need to start using a bigger brush. The fan brush, it has really nice fine speckles, but sometimes you just want those big glops on there, right? And this one, they had an overall effect. I'm also going to put some shiny, shiny bling bling. I had some leftover inset from the snowflakes that I had out for the place cards, the silver diamonds. So I was putting those down. And then I also put down some of the half pearls from Crafty Canuck. And honey, close your eyes right now, please. Okay? All right. So for the rest of you, this is proof that there actually was a present inside there. Honey, keep your eyes closed. And getting that wrapped up. This wasn't just an empty box. Okay, honey, you can open your eyes now. And again, I'm tying the tag on, getting it set around just a ribbon that I had tied around the box. And again, the nails, they're too short. I'm having trouble with them. I can't do a thing. You get used to them being a certain length. And yes, I do them myself. I like changing my nail polish every week or two, because I get bored with the colors. And here's the part where we're going to do a little zhuzhing, where we've got, the tag down, we've got the ribbon around the box, we've got some of the other ones, the red and the green. We're going to put a nice shiny bow down, because we have to have the shiny, shiny bling bling. And we're going to make those ribbons curl, and then we're going to do the arranging and the fussing. And I don't get to do this on the presents that get shipped out up to mom and dad, because they will get squashed in the box. They just get flattened, so we have to put them in a bag, and then they put them on after. Anyway, everybody, those are the tags that I was experimenting with and trying out for the first time. Oh, and I had little key accents on them too, like the key to your heart, right? Of course. Of course, thanks to everybody that's subbing and liking and commenting. As Amy says, it really does make a difference with the robot overlords. You all go be that change you want to see in the world. We'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.